indeed, Mr. Secretary. Excellencies, heads of state and government, representatives of member states, Ghana's Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, the Executive Secretary and members of the Executive Committee of the Gulf of Guinea Commission, members of the Diplomatic Corps, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to welcome your excellencies to the third extraordinary session of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government of the Gulf of Guinea Commission. Akwaba, as you know, is our word of welcome. This is the first in-person summit of the Commission since 2019. After the onset of COVID-19, our meetings have been restricted mostly to virtual ones. This lack of in-person meetings, the real and rare opportunities for frank and more meaningful exchange of views towards finding solutions to the many problems of our continent, especially our Gulf of Guinea region, have robbed all of us of contributing the opportunity to contribute collectively to the vibrant and aggressive development of our region, the Gulf of Guinea. The first formal purpose of the meeting, which is the swearing in of the new Executive Committee members, as decided during our last virtual meeting, the fifth ordinary session of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government hosted by the Federal Republic of Nigeria, has been carried out. You'll recall that it was at that meeting that Ghana was chosen to chair the Commission in succession to Nigeria, whose mandate had come to an end. The other positions that were designated at that meeting are the Executive Secretary from Equatorial Guinea, the Deputy Executive Secretary for Political Affairs from Nigeria, the Deputy Executive Secretary for Natural Resources from Angola, and the Director of Administration from Ghana. It is important to note, as the Minister for Foreign Affairs has already indicated, as well as the outgoing Executive Secretary, that the position of Director of Finance is yet to be taken by a member state. And as such, there's been no swearing in for the Director of Finance. We know the importance of this position, and so I appeal to members to fulfill their obligations to the Gulf of Guinea Commission, which will enable them to put up a candidate for this position. It is imperative that this position be filled as soon as possible, in accordance with Article 21(1)(c) of the Rules of Procedure of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government of the Gulf of Guinea Commission. The installation of the new Executive Committee members that will steer the affairs of the organization for the next 3 years, possibly for a second 3-year tenure, is an important event for the Commission. It is also my hope that the renewal of members of the committee will be carried out in a more regular manner, as envisaged in our rules of procedure. I have no doubts over the competence and capacity of the newly sworn members of the Executive Committee, looking at their biodata. I believe the effective and efficient management of the Executive Secretariat of the Gulf of Guinea Commission will be well taken care of by the new committee members, and I'd like to encourage them to perform and give of their best in the interest of the Commission. I must perforce congratulate the outgoing members of the Executive Committee and the staff of the Executive Secretariat, led by Her Excellency, the indefatigable Mrs. Florentina Adenike Okunga, for their efforts in ensuring the continuity and growth of the Commission, even in the face of the financial difficulty caused by the non-payment and irregular payment of contributions by some member states, and also due to irregular holding of statutory meetings as enshrined in the Rules of Procedure of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government of the Gulf of Guinea Commission. In spite of these challenges, the team has kept the Gulf of Guinea Commission relevant in matters of maritime security and safety in the region. I wish the outgoing Executive Secretary and her team well and sincerely hope that they will not hesitate to respond to our requests for their knowledge and expertise in relevant matters if the need arises. And I'm glad to hear the reassurance of the outgone Executive Secretary in this regard. Excellencies, I've taken advantage of this extraordinary meeting to bring up for discussion two issues that are of great importance to our region. Firstly, the issue of finding means of making our region a safe, secure, and prosperous one. And secondly, the deliberation on whether it is in our collective interest to enlarge the Gulf of Guinea Commission so that we will have as member states all the coastal states of West and Central Africa, from Cape Verde to Angola, instead of only the coastal states of the geographical Gulf of Guinea region, from Cote d'Ivoire to Angola, as is currently set out in the 2001 treaty establishing the Gulf of Guinea Commission. There will then be the need to amend this treaty to reflect this new development if it is so accepted. These are the items for our agenda for the closed-door session. It is important that we have some serious discussion on these items in order to come up with strategies geared towards strengthening peace and security and winning the fight against maritime-related crimes in the region, such as piracy, illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, arms trafficking, pollution of the environment, smuggling, fuel and crude oil theft. We shall continue to work to address these maritime security issues to help curtail and eradicate the menace caused by these acts of criminality in the region, so as to build a safe, secure, and prosperous Gulf of Guinea region for sustainable development for our peoples. I beseech member states of the Gulf of Guinea Commission to show more political commitment at the highest level of government in the affairs of the Commission by paying the statutory contributions to the Commission and attending the statutory meetings at the highest and most appropriate levels. Also on the agenda is the proposal for the possible expansion of the membership of the Commission to include all the 19 coastal states of the geopolitical Gulf of Guinea for effective collaboration of our navies, coast guards, and other relevant maritime security agencies in the geopolitical space of the Gulf of Guinea. It is important to note that for the expansion to become effective, the Treaty of the Commission will have to be amended to allow the inclusion of all the coastal states in the region from Cape Verde to Angola. Since the establishment of the Gulf of Guinea Commission, when 5 countries, Angola, the Republic of Congo, Gabon, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and Sao Tome and Principe, signed the treaty in Libreville, Gabon on 3rd July 2001, the Commission has witnessed the accession of 4 other member states: Equatorial Guinea in 2006, Democratic Republic of Congo and Cameroon in 2009, and Ghana in 2017. Other countries in the region have shown interest in the past by attending Gulf of Guinea Commission meetings and seminars, and have made inquiries regarding membership, but have not followed through on the show of interest with action. For us to have an effective and a well-organized defense of the Gulf of Guinea region, the countries of the region must be encouraged to join the Commission so that collectively we can make a significant difference in maintaining maritime peace and security in the Gulf of Guinea region. Through well-coordinated collaboration and cooperation on matters of common interest amongst the members of the region, illegal activities at sea can be greatly reduced, if not completely eradicated. Collaboration and cooperation amongst the states of the region are crucial because of the interconnectivity of maritime activities. Working together will enable us to build a safe, secure, and prosperous Gulf of Ghana region for sustainable development. Excellencies, representatives, I thank you for your attention.
The head of state and the government of the Gulf of the country of the Gulf of Guinea Commission. First of all, I would like to express my deep gratitude and satisfaction for having accepted me in such a great organization to be its Executive Secretary. His Excellency Nana Akufo Addo, Chairman of the Gulf of Guinea Commission and current President of Ghana, distinguished representative of head state and government, Excellency Madam Sally Ayoko Bochwe, Acting Minister, President of the Council of Ministers of the Gulf of Guinea Commission, and Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration. Honorable mention to His Excellency Obiangema Mbazo, Head of State and the Government of the Republic of Equatorial Guinea, for having chosen me among so many brilliant Equatorial Guineans to be a candidate for the position of Executive Secretary of the Gulf of Guinea Commission. I am not going to let you down. I thank the overhead of state for accepting me. I would like to thank outstanding Executive Secretary, Madam Florentina Adene-Kokonga, and his staff of Gulf of Guinea Commission for maintaining and working for so many years in very difficult situations. Let me express my profound appreciation to Your Excellency Nana Akufo Addo, Chairman of the Gulf of Guinea Commission, and the government of Ghana for convening the third extraordinary session of the Assembly of Head State and the government of the Gulf of Guinea Commission in the beautiful city of Accra, and for placing at our disposal excellent facility to guide our intervention today. I want the member state to support the institution by paying their contribution. I solemnly promise to work hard for the success of the community. In this order of ideas, I am willing to accept the advice of that emanate from the member state. Thank you all very much.
Commission, Mrs. Florentina Adenike Ukunga. Your Excellency, incoming Executive Secretary, Mr. Jose Imba Abeso, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the seat of government in Accra, which has been graciously made available by the government of the Republic of Ghana to host the third extraordinary summit of the heads of state of the Gulf of Guinea Commission, GGC. I wish to recognize and express my gratitude to the heads of state and government of the Gulf of Guinea Commission, as well as their authorized representatives for your presence here today. Indeed, your participation in the summit is an affirmation of the robust political will of the member states of the GGC in defending our common interest and promoting peace and socio-economic development on the basis of dialogue, consensus, friendship, solidarity, and fraternity as espoused by our treaty. It would be remiss of me not to acknowledge the efforts of the outgoing Executive Secretariat, who have made our journey and decisions towards maritime security in the Gulf of Guinea manageable. Our heartfelt appreciation goes to Her Excellency, Mrs. Florentina Adenike Ukunga, and her team for their exceptional and exemplary leadership of the Commission despite the enormous challenges faced during their tenure. I thank you on behalf of the GGC for your dedication, commitment, and contribution, and wish you all well in the next phase of your lives. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, at the 5th Ordinary Session of the Gulf of Guinea Commission, held virtually on the 13th of October 2022, the heads of state and government elected new members to fill the vacant positions of the Executive Secretariat of the GGC. Thus, in recognition of the importance of sustained leadership and continuity in steering the affairs of the Commission, this extraordinary summit is convened to formally bestow on the new executives the authority to fulfill their mandate and responsibilities. While thanking the outgoing executives for their selfless and dedicated service, we welcome the new executives and encourage them to be driven by the timeless notions of public service, as well as implore them to work for the common good of protecting and preserving our shared maritime domain. We are excited to see how you shape our organization going forward. It is, however, worrisome to note that the position of Director of Finance still remains vacant, and I wish to urge interested member states to present their nominees to the Executive Secretariat for consideration. Excellencies, the leadership of GGC and our citizens are genuinely concerned about the frequency of crimes at sea, the prevalence of illegal, unregulated, and unreported fishing in our waters, the increasing incidence of smuggling, oil theft, pipeline vandalism, trafficking, and maritime terrorism that continue to pose significant threats to the economic lifeline of landlocked and coastal countries of the Gulf of Guinea. Cognizant that this situation is not curbed would make sea transportation riskier, deadly, and expensive for all countries along the Gulf of Guinea. The closed-door session of the summit is therefore designed to enable us to discuss strategies for strengthening peace and security in our fight against maritime-related crimes in the region, as well as to deliberate on the text of the Commission with the hope of expanding the scope of definitions to allow for ascension by other countries in the Gulf of Guinea region. As I conclude, I'm optimistic that during the closed-door session, we can explore options like the establishment of common laws. For example, a common close fishing season for the territorial zones across the region that would aim in the conservation of the resources of the sea for the benefit of citizens of countries of the Gulf of Guinea. With these few words, permit me to welcome you all once again to the 3rd Extraordinary Summit of the Heads of State of the Gulf of Guinea Commission. I thank you for your attention.